Hello, Sabina, Hello, Sabina is a medicine which is used for the cases of the female problem. The common name of the Sabina is Sabine. The family is the Coniferae. It is of our important medicine for the cases of the hemorrhage. So old schools used the roots of the plant to produce miscarriage. But in homeopathy, it is used to prevention of abortion. Sabina may be said to be predominantly a female remedy. There are so many drugs are there which is used as a female remedy, but there is no specific medicine which is used for in homeopathy for use for female remedy. Any medicine can be used in any conditions. I mean, likely the Sabina is also the Sepia, the Pulsatilla. These are also one of the best medicine for the female or well known as in female, even the actariation. So, if we see it is an anti-abortic medicine. It is used as a hemorrhagic, special use for the abortion. So it is a medicine which is abundantly grown in South Europe and Levant. It is bitter and acrid in taste. So whenever mother tincture to be given, it becomes spoils the mouth, taste of the mouth and other organs. Preparation, if we think about the preparation, the mother tincture is prepared from the ripened stem collected in April, and dilutions are made as directed under class 3 dp of tincture. 1 by drug picture tincture is 1/6. Thermal cleavage. It is a medicine mostly chilly patient takes cold very easily, and there is the cold creeps chill in open air. Particularly there is a cold aggravation, pain in testicles and rainy weather. So the causation, if we think about the causation, so there are so many causation are there. But before that, I want to speak about the physiological action. Special action on the uterus, serous and fibrous membranes, urinary organs, gastrointestinal canal and so on. General irritations resulting in congestion and inflammations. Sabina acts as a widespread irritant substances. Inflammation, the polypyloric end of the intestines and causing patches of inflammation in other portion of the intestines, omentum and peritoneum. So this medicine is not only giving aggravation or irritation or bleeding, not only to the female genital organs, but it has the action to other part of the body. It may be the pyloric end of the intestine or causing patches of inflammation in other portion of the intestines, omentum and peritoneum. Special action of the uterus and the fibrous membrane, urinary organs and gastrointestinal tract. So there may be some bleeding, urinary bleeding, hemorrhage from the uterus, hemorrhage from the bladder and intestinal canals. Next number, if we see it, what are the main problem usually occurs after consuming the pathological symptoms of Sabina. This may be useful in case of the abortion, in case of the condylomata, that is the growth in the uterus, in case of the abortion, in case of the cystitis, menstrual disorders, gonorrhea, gout, leukorrhea, miscarriage, rheumatism, uterine affections, and skin troubles. So, apart from this, these are signs, symptoms or pathological disease condition, pathological condition. In case of some other disease condition, it can be used. So, it is used once upon a time as an abortion. Even the sickle curd also, it has action upon the uterus and producing abortion, or when there is an abortion, this can be restricted. ठीक है ना? Plus, if we see the causation of the it, so if it is seen that lower potency mother tincture, if it is to be used, it will produce an irritation to the affected part and the warts, and it is curable in case of the warts. It means that it is an antipsychotic remedy, also anti-sodic remedy. Mostly the potency is to be used either 3rd or 30 potency to prevent the abortion and in pathological conditions. Somebody uses a lower potency, okay? So previously so many persons or the physicians or in the villagers uses different drugs for the purpose of the abortion. Among them, Canid is one of them. Another is the stramonium. Another is the ergot. They are using these drugs for the purpose of abortifications. So this medicine known as the abortificant, but it has some lots of importance. Causation, abortion from excitement. So if there is any abortion due to the excitement, we can think of the gelsemium. Okay, so gelsemium is a medicine which has the abortion, which have the excitement. Along with this excitement, there is the trembling of the whole body. This is a very important feature of the gelsemium, even from exertion. So, if due to the bleeding, due to the chronic exertion, then we can think of the other drugs, that is the Rastux and Erigeron. So, whenever there is an excessive exertion, physically, especially, we can think of the Rastux. Another medicine is the Arnica montana and also the Sabina. So, due to the exertion, if there is chances of bleeding or there is chances of abortion, we may think of Rastux or Erigeron. Erigeron also important medicine for the bleeding for vagina or sexual organs. So, Rastux in case of the strenuous exercise, you can think of that. Next, the exposure to cold, damp weather in places. If there is an abortion or any problem due to the damp weather, you can think of the Savannah, also another medicine, Natams or Dalkamba is also there. Even there is abortion or any problem due to the fright, we must think of aconite, gelsemium, ignatia, opium. So ignatia, gelsemium, opium in primary stage, but opium in the last stage when all our remedy fails. Inertia of the uterus, that is the curvage and the colophyllum. So uterus can, any other problem, you can think of the colophyllum and the curvage along with the bleeding. So in case of the curvage, there is the bleeding along with excessive fanning, coldness, bluishness and then the sweating, cold sweating is very important. Okay, next number, Colophyllum is a medicine which is mostly useful in case of the rheumatic problem, or colchicum also is there, but Colophyllum, abdominal problem plus uterine problem and associated with the bleeding and so on. Even if it is after injury, we can think of the Arnica montana and the Rustux. Arnica montana and Rustux is also one of the medicine for the after injury. Second month of the abortion, epismel is very important. Second month of the abortion, Kalikab is a very important medicine for the abortion. But in case of the Epis is hot patient, basic differences, and Kalikab is also not hot but it is a chilly patient. Epis aggravation time is different, whereas Kalikab time modality is different. Kalikab aggravation time modalities is mostly early in the morning, between the 2 to 4, like this. Whereas Epis 3 am, 3 pm in the heat in general and so on. Even if we find there is a bleeding or there is any abortion, most of the time between the 5 to 7 months we must think of the CPR. So in case of the CPR, there is a 5 to 7 months abortion. Okay, so CPR में हम क्या देखते हैं, उसका constitution देखते हैं. So the uterus cannot hold, cannot retain the weight of the uterus as a result of there is abortion. ठीक है ना? CPR patient is very blackish color and so on. The mentally the CPR patient is mentally कैसे है? CPR patient का mentally there is the morose, sorrowful, sad, despondent, and ill-humored, gloomy, like this. So CPR patient constitution is lean, thin, emaciated, black color, brownish depigmentation here and there, and so on. Even the abortion is on the last months of pregnancy, 8 to 9 months. You must think of the opium. Okay? So opium is a medicine where there is the last month abortion. So we can register it by the help of the opium. Another is the suppressed grapes. Sometimes we find that there is the abortion due to the reserved displeasure or morose or suppressed grief. We must think of the ignitia and atemi. Although ignitia and atemi, they are the complementary to each other. Ignitia patient is always gloomy, sad, even there is a deep sigh. Other medicine also, calcula falls is also there, and so on. If there is a tendency to abortion, so tendency, there are so many medicines. The tendency to abortion, you find in epismel, calciracum, causticum, shipia, simicituga, helleborus, calicum, plumbum, Sabina, sepia, and sulfur. So first of all, whenever it is mentioned that it is medicine for the abortion, already I have started with the abortion. So whenever other faculty, other pathy cannot do anything, other pathy is helpless, we homeopaths can do so many things and we can resist it. We can prevent the abortion. So epismel is there, calciracum is there, the constitution of epismel is different, modality is different, constitution and diathesis is different. Whereas calcarea, constitution, diathesis, temperament is different, miasm different. Even calciracum, you'll find it, fatty flavification, Schwen, causticum, they are very sympathetic, and so on. Shimishula, female medicine with uterine problem and other organs. Helonias, it is medicine for the uterine problem, and it helps us for the uterine strengthening. So some physician also using the helonious lower potency to resist the abortion. Next number up we see the Kalikab. Along with this Kalikab, what you will find? The DG, the Kalikab having the severe backache along with the abortion. Plumma metallicum, this is also there. Abortion most of the time. Where we find it? The uterus during pregnancy, there is the growth of the uterus, but it should be, but the growth of the uterus is not proper and in comparison with the fetus development. So, due to the lack of the home, there is the abortion. Sabina is also there. Along with there is a severe backache, the radiating pain is there. Sepia also, leukorrhea and other diseases are there, and sulfur is also. There is some severe burning sensation and so on. The premature this medicine is also useful in case of the premature labor. Okay, and it also prevents premature. Next number is hemorrhage from uterus. Other medicines are there: Arnica montana, belladonna, calciraca, carbovage, china, irigerin, hamamelis, ipecac, lachesis, millefolium, natramur, pulsatilla, sepia, sickle curve, and others. What will find it? Due to the hemorrhage, if from the uterus, if there is any bleeding, the causative factor must be different. Arnica montana is due to the injury, fall, or blow to the abdomen, or injury to abdomen as it is. Belladonna also there, along with the constitution is there, temperature must be there. Calciraca constitution is looks like this. Carbovage, there is serious condition, bleeding passive, and whole body becomes pale and coldness. There is the air anger. Like this we can distinguish from one medicine to another. Another is the China. China is also very important medicine for the cases of the abortion. Even it is there is abortion is or the bleeding is after abortion so much the patient, then the gasping of the breath, and there is the weakness and prostration. The ferrum is also there. The ferrum hamamil is also there. Hamamil is also there. Excessive bleeding, but the hamamil is also mostly on the venous blood. Ipecac is a good medicine for the cases of the bleeding. But ipecac, what we will find, in case of the ipecac, there is nausea and vomiting, there is any clean tongue, there is the glary mucus from the mouth, along with the abortion or bleeding, and there is a severe frank blood. Lachesis is a very important medicine for the cases of the abortion or bleeding. Lachesis में क्या देखते हैं? Excessive bleeding. बाद में और क्या देखेंगे? Lachesis में usually left-sided, but in case of the menopause, or in case of menorrhagia, we can think. But before menses, there is any complication starts, and when the menses starts, the bleeding starts, all the complaints subsided is a very peculiar symptoms. Millefolium is also empirically is a very important medicine for the case of the hemorrhage. Natramur is also very important medicine, but the mental condition we must consider. Pulsatilla, the person is very silent, very good natured, and so on. Sickle curve, this type already I have told, and sepia constitutionally we must consider. In case of the sickle curve, there is excessive burning sensation all over the body. They always want prefer the cold pressures and so on. However, I have told initially so many drugs with to some extent distinguishing feature or comparison, especially in case of the bleeding and abortion. We can resist the abortion. We can cure the repeated abortions and so on. Now I'll think the contributions of this medicine Sabina. In case of the Sabina, the contribution is mostly suited to the chlorotic women having tendency to miscarriage. जो पेशेंट का ब्लीडिंग होते मिसकैरेज होते एक टेंडेंसीज है, particularly in the third month, you must consider the Sabina. इसलिए third month के abortion, we must think about the abortion. But other medicine are sickle cord, astilago, Sabina, and Maxwell, especially in the third month of the pregnancy, abortion. Once it is happened, that does not matter. But it is repeatedly happened in between the period of such and such, we must consider it. Okay? Next, diathesis, hemorrhagic diathesis, and gouty diathesis. So we have so many drugs are there. Here are the hemorrhagic diathesis, gouty diathesis. This medicine is useful for the case of the hemorrhagic diathesis and gouty. Miasm, psychosis in the background. So psychosis is the background. If there is any growth or what or something else and rheumatic problem along with the abortion, we must consider the Sabina. Mental generals, music is intolerable to her, very uncommon peculiar symptoms of the drugs, mental symptoms. So music makes her sad and intolerable. So mostly we have seen there are so many drugs are there, especially in homeopathy, and this type of uncommon peculiar symptoms which is present in homeopathy, and if we prescribe on the basis medicine on the basis of that, we must get the results. First number is aconite, another is ambra, chamomilla, graphitis, creosote, lycopodium, natrum carb, natrum mule, natrum sulf, max vomica, phosphorus, phosphoric acid, sepia, and tannin. All these medicines, so all these medicines have the music intolerance. But what is happening? If somebody prefers the classical, somebody prefers the modern music, and so on. So that depends on the constitution, character, mentality, and everything. If we consider the physical general symptoms, so in case of physical general symptoms, the reaction to the heat and cold, the patient is the hot patient. Okay, the patient is the hot, desire for the coffee, juicy things, lemonades, and so on. So in case of that, if the patient prefers juicy things, we can think of the phosphoric acid also and phosphorus. Sleep lies on the left side during sleep, mostly. This type of basic character helps a lot to make a correct prescriptions. Prefers to lie on the left side. Dreams, morning, amorous dreams, anger, anxious, busy, confused, excelling in mental work, falling off, full of inventions, mental exertions, affecting the mind and quarrel. Affecting the mind and quarrel. So quarrels, if there is syphilitic miasm symptoms, as also there is the falling off. These are the psychotic, watery symptoms. These are the water, flowing water, and so on. Tank, river, ocean. These are the psychotic manifestations. Next, if we see the general aggravation, moderate disease from least motion, the sickle cord is useful in case of the least motion aggravation, like the bryonia. Okay, and sickle cord is also important that is the for due to that there may be abortions. Warm air or warm room, APs and pulsatil is there. Ammunition in cool, open and fresh air. Ammunition in cool, open air and fresh air. These are the important modalities of the Sabina. These modalities, evolution, also having the same with the or similar with the pulsatile modalities. So the pulsatile also prefers cold weather, open air, fresh air, and so on. Side is usually left-sided affected, and the patient prefers to lie on the left side. This is very important. They also affects the right side of, they also affect the right side, where it is the internal head, the teeth, the hypochondria, the abdomen, the sexual organs, neck and nape of the neck, and the lower extremity. So there is no hard and fast rule in case of the side determination. Some symptoms, internal affect opposite to the external aggravation or the external side. There may be some controversy regarding this, but we should treat on the basis of the symptom similarity and totality of the wishes. Next one, the guiding symptoms. If we see the guiding symptoms, there are some drawing pain in small of the back, drawing pain in the small of the back from sacrum to pubis. So if there is any during the pregnancy or during the menses, there is a severe and pain in the back from drawing from the sacrum to pubis. In nearly all diseases, from back going around the body to the pubis. So nearly all diseases from back going around the body to pubis, round the body to pubis. Okay, इसलिए the pain is so severe, excruciating, disgusting, and severe. The patient cannot tolerate it. So that pain from back to the symphysis pubis, you must consider the other drugs, that is the Viburnum oculus. Okay, menses too early, too profuse, too long lasting, too protracted. There is partly fluid and partly clotted. Menses too early, too profuse, too protracted. जितना जल्दी होते, diffuse होते, अटक जाते, partly fluid and partly clotted. Okay. कुछ clotted होते, ferrum is also there. Clotted में magnesium carbonate is there, syphilinum is there, medeodymium is there, clotted. Ferrum is there. So this Sabina is also there, clotted blood. With menstrual flow very early in the life, flows in paroxysm with colic and labor-like pains. Paroxysm flow, like the labor-like pain. And the pains from sacrum to pubis is very important on the drugs. If any patient female complains that excruciating pain from the sacrum to pubis, we must consider that is the Sabina. Okay. However, other drugs are there, but it is excessive. Even during menstruation, severe backache, colophylum is also there. Even if there is any picking pain, calicarb is also there. Even the spulas hypocastanum is also there. So, what will find it? The discharge of the blood between the periods with sexual excitement, ambrosia is there. So, discharge के साथ sexual excitement, that is the ambrosia. Written placenta from atonia of the uterus, intense pain is there. Very surely with the colophylum and sacral cord. retained placenta from atony of uterus, and intense pain, colophilum, cecal cord is there, menorrhagia during climaxes, in women who formerly aborted with early first menses. इसलिए menorrhagia during climaxes in women who formerly aborted with early first menses, कभी कभी देख लेते हैं जो फर्स्ट प्रेगनेंसी का टाइम एबॉर्शन हो गया, ब्लीडिंग हो रहा है, डिलीवरी हो गया, उसके बाद ब्लीडिंग कभी कम नहीं हुई और एबॉर्शन करने के बाद उसका ब्लीडिंग चालू है। हम वो जगह में भी साबिना देखिए आराम दे सकते। नेक्स्ट नंबर इज द inflammation of the ovaries or uterus after abortion or premature labor. After abortion or premature labor, if there is an inflammation of the ovaries, we must consider it. Another is that promotes expulsion of moles or foreign body from the uterus. Promotes expulsion of the moles and the foreign bodies from uterus. Cancer is also very important. ठीक है ना? इसीलिए expulsion of the moles or the foreign bodies from the uterus, the medicine is the cantheris. So cantheris में क्या हो गया? Expulsion of the moles. बहुत सारे लोग cantheris दे देते to moles के लिए, even foreign body in the uterus, उसको expulsion के निकालने के लिए cantheris देते हैं. Somebody prefers lower potency. In case of the somebody prefers cecal cord lower potency to remove the foreign bodies from the uterus. There is the figures with intolerable itching and burning. So if there are any figures are there with burning sensation, intolerable itching, exuberant granulation, कोई भी जगह में and granulation formation होते हैं, we must think of these drugs. So in case of the worst, you must think of the thuja, you must think of the nitric acid, you must think of the causticum and like this. But in case of the causticum, very prominent is pedunculated and so on. Growth is too much. In case of the thuja, to some extent color is different, black color, and any hair part of the body. Another is the nitric acid, very painful, easily bleeding, worse. In uterine complaints, lady with the complaints of dysmenorrhea, the menses are too early, too profuse, too long lasting, the flow is paroxysms, liquid, bright red, intermingled with the clots. During the menses, the lady suffers from bearing down, labor-like pain, which is drawing in character and extends from sacrum to pelvis. She complains that the flow is aggravated from this motion and ceases when the resting. The lady gives the history of rheumatism in lower limbs and gonorrhea. There is also suppressed catamenia, a very offensive smelling leucorrhea, looks like that of meat washing, and she may also complain in her heels intermitting with her uterine complaints. She also great intolerance of the music, so in that sense we must think of that is the Sabina. So Sabina medicine is useful in case of the bleeding per uterus, and the sign symptoms will be like this. In case of abortion, a lady with tendency to miscarriage with early menarche and her abortion is usually in the 3rd month, Sabina is indicated. There is severe pain in the abdomen. There is shooting pain from the back to front, bearing down labor-like pain from sacrum to pelvis. At the time of abortion, the flow is of liquid, bright red, copious blood, which is intermingled with clots. After abortion, there is inflammation of uterus and violent pain through the ovaries and uterus, aching pain in the back, especially in the sacrum, and then to pelvis. As if broken, as if bones are cracked, हमारे पास और मेडिसिन है, as the bones are scrapped, हमारे पास medicine is the rust touch, another is the ubiquitin perforator. But here, the condition is different. It is mostly related with the uterine problem. At the time of climatic period, the patient has repeated uterine hemorrhages. In case of the climatic period, the patient has repeated bleeding from the hemorrhage, a bright red blood from uterus, intermingled with the clots and pain from sacrum to pubis. She becomes exhausted and anemic. Due to the loss of excessive blood, there is the exhaustion and anemia. Now we can think about the comparison. If we compare with the other medicine, aggravation from the music, ambrosia is there, thuja occidentalis is there, and CPI is there. And previously already I told natamcar, aconite, causticum, and some other graphitish, CPI, so many drugs are there. If there is intermittent flow, hemamilis and ambrosia is there. So ambrosia is mostly useful in case of the old age. Okay. Hemamilis in general. If there is any condylomata, thuja is there, and nitric acid is there. If there is any hemorrhage, aggravation of the least motion, the best medicine is the sickle cord and the rust touch. Even the arnica montana. These are medicine mostly useful. Menses partly fluid and partly clotted, magnesium curd, medorinum, ferrum fort, ferrumate, these are there. And this really helps a lot. If there is a retained placenta, colophilum and sickle cord. So if retained placenta, the colophilum is very important and sickle cord. So sickle cord is usually empirically used as a medicine for the case of the removal of anything in the uterus. Accordingly. Then they promotes expulsion of the moles from the foreign body from the uterus. Cantheris, usually fresh air, prefers, pulsatilla is there. Affection of the heels, the ammon mule, didampel, and pulsatilla. Ammon mule, didampel, pulsatilla is there. Causticum, magnesium, antium crude, natrium curve is there. So affection of the heels, so many drugs. Most of the time, heel pain is there, and so some are prescribing this medicine. Ammonium, lidampel, agar lidampel है तो उससे कोई कभी taking नहीं है. Pulsatilla, causticum, magnesium, antium crude, and natrium curd. All the medicine have own individual characteristics, individual mentality, individual peculiarity, and also the term. So we must have to prescribe, and we must be distinguished from one medicine to the other. Desired lemonade, the pulsatilla is there, salicia is also there. The desire for the lemonade. Clotted hemorrhage, millefolium, and platinum. Miscarriage at the 3rd month, Crocus sativa. Miscarriage at the 3rd month, Crocus sativa and creosote. Crocus can have some other sign symptoms are there, but creosote, it is a good medicine for the cases of the bleeding, vaginal, and so on. The sensation of something alive in abdomen, we must think of the Crocus sativa and sulfur and thuja. Easily kabhi sometimes we have seen some patient complains, some living organism is remaining in the abdomen. Even some male also complain that I am pregnant patient. Aggravation in foggy weather, the medicine is the hypericum. Okay, aggravation in foggy weather, the medicine is the hypericum. Very important. If you go through the boric mathematica and in relationship, you must get it. Again, these symptoms, this peculiar modality is very rare and uncommon. On the basis of that, we can prescribe. Okay, aggravation in bed at night, sulfur, mercury, pulsatilla, chamomilla, brownie alba. Okay, phimosis. So, in case of the phimosis, unable to detraction of the pinch, the cyananthus, mercury, sulfur, nitric acid, sepia, thuja, crescentus. If there is any tympanitis, if there is any tympanitis, you must consider the terebinthina, rheumatism, which is emulsion by cold application. I mentioned with the ligam pen. So, understand? Sankar. So, tympanitis, rheumatism, emulsion by cold application, the medicine will be the ligam pen. So, don't neglect the ligam pen. Okay. Don't neglect the ligam pen. Actually, what's happened? In case of the rheumatism, there is an aggravation by the cold, and emulsion by heat is there. Here there is an exception. Here the emulsion by cold application is the ligam pen. Complementary to thuja. So thuja is a psychotic medicine. So if we consider these drugs, after that the thuja should be given if there is any polyp or excessive bleeding inside the uterus. As a result of, if there is a complication, you must consider these drugs. Next is this is antidoted by the pulsatilla. So the pulsatilla should be given after these drugs. So that will minimize it. Understand? Usually in antidote to pulsatilla. Another is the incapable to arsenic album, belladonna, rastax, and spongia, and staphysaceae. So arsenic albinism and so on. Thank you.